All right, so I'm finishing up the finishing touches on the truck. The interior is basically done. I've got the monitors mounted, they're 12-inch monitors. They're on a swivel system. It has a custom bracket that I made to fit these big ass monitors. So I have the lid off right now because I'm doing the last little bit of wiring for the power cables and the HDMI cables that go to the mini computer that's right here next to the mini fridge. I know, I'm fucking ridiculous and I know it. But at the end of my bumper video, I thought everything was good to go, fine and dandy. Come to find out that the bumper mounts worked really well before the coating, but the coating added some thickness to it, so now the tailgate doesn't come down without hitting the bumper. So I'm lowering the bumper mounts just a little bit, just about a half of an inch. And I think that should free up any clearance issues that we have. The only issue is that I have this weird bracket on top of my tow bar. I only have about a ½ inch before I hit that. Now I can cut this off, but I'd rather not at the moment. So if I can avoid cutting that off, I will. I'm gonna drop the bumper mounts by ½ inch on either side and see if that lets the tailgate clear. And if it does, all good, all Gucci. If not, I'll have to modify the tow hitch a little bit. Nothing that's gonna fuck it up structurally. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's the last piece of the puzzle. Other than the 1 or 2 little things on the interior, I do have some small stuff planned for this as well. Bits here and there that I'm gonna finish it up with. Right now, I need to just figure out where the mounts are gonna be because I'm gonna be dropping them a ½ inch. So I gotta just make sure everything lines up. But before we continue moving on, I have to talk about today's sponsor, Established Titles. Probably one of the most interesting ads that I've ever had support my channel by far. Mostly because now you have to call me Lord Do It With Dan. That's right, this is a proclamation dedicated in a private estate in Scotland, making me a lord with an official title crest. This isn't some gimmicky one, this is a real one. You can put this on your credit cards, job applications, plane tickets, dating profiles, you name it. You are officially a lord or lady. Your estate features a unique number to where you can go and look at your property. Hey, this is my square foot, the lap of luxury. And not only does it make a cool gift, you know, with the holidays coming up, for the next 200 people that use my coupon code in my description, coupon code DOITWITHDAN, you'll effectively be next to my plot of land. That would make us neighbors. Would you want to be my neighbor? I'll be honest, I don't want you as my neighbor, but there's nothing I can do about it if you buy one. You'd be forcing yourself to be my neighbor against my will. Don't. There's also like family package deals, partner package deals, like ladies and lords and lords and lords and ladies, you know, whatever checks your box. They're already running a sale right now, but if you use my coupon code, you can get an additional 10% off. Use the link in my description, establishedtitles.com/DoItWithDan. Use my coupon code, DoItWithDan, to get your gifts now and help support my channel. And through their partner charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, they're able to plant a tree with every order to help fight deforestation. And it's not just Scotland, it's all over the world. Thank you, Established Titles, for supporting the channel. Now it is time that we get back to work. All right, so I've got my my modified hinge here, and I want to show you guys something that's important. One of the things that CNC programs, at least this one needs, is a vector file. And a vector file, what it means is that it's the same size and quality, no matter how far or how close you are zoomed in. So if we zoom in here, we can see like really, look at all these nice clean edges here. No matter how far we zoom in, it's a nice crisp clean edge here. Versus if we look at the non-vector file here, we zoom in, we can see how it's blurry and the edges are all blocky and whatnot, and that's just what vectorizing does. It makes this line a quality line no matter what size the file is. But I have to use this program to vectorize it. It's really simple. It's a free program, Inkscape. I highly recommend it if you're doing anything. But this is the modified mounting bracket, and this is the one that I use temporarily. So the new one's gonna have the holes in it for the bumper to mount to, hopefully in the right position, and I went ahead and trimmed this down to where the bumper can sit flat. So I'm hoping that knocking out that ½ inch makes this a little bit easier. All right, so I've dropped the tow hitch yet again. So what I'm gonna do is these tabs now, because I have a space for the bumper mounts that go in between here and the frame, they don't line up with the holes on the frame to where they would mount up. So to mitigate that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knock this bracket off on both sides. So what I'll do is I'll create another panel on the other side here that bolts to this and welds to this. So that way, the bumper, the tow hitch, and the frame are technically all like conjoined into one. I think it's gonna be the strongest way to do anything with the rear bumper. I think it'll be stronger than factory, to be honest, according to the limited physics knowledge that I'm aware of, but like, I think it should literally just work just like that, so. I don't know if you've ever picked up a heavy duty tow hitch like this before. They weigh a fuck ton. It's so hard for even just me to like pick them up and move them around, much less get them up to the truck and mount it. So I've come up with a way that actually makes it kind of easy. So if you guys want to steal this, feel free, but using pull tight ratchet straps, you can use crank ratchet straps, but the pull tights are way easier. Just kind of like inch by inch, push it up to the top. You'll see, let's watch it. See? Just like that. And that's, now I can throw the bolts through it. It's good to go. I have the mounts finished and mounted to the truck at the moment. Now the bumper is technically bolted to the mounts. I have to pull the bumper back off, so I just kind of have them poking through. They're not tightened down or anything like that. But yeah, like, so the bolts aren't in all the way, and I left just a little bit of room for tolerance, you know? So whatever I decide to lock it down is what I'll lock it down at, but there's a little bit of wiggle room at the moment for tolerance, so you might see it like jumble a little bit. All right, next up on the list of things to do, pretty much to finish up the bumper, it's for these diode dynamic light bars. Also, thank you Diode Dynamic, much appreciated. Always top tier quality light bars. Matter of fact, I used all of their RGBs for the center console and what I'm gonna be doing for the grill in an upcoming video, so, you know, check it out. So anyway, these things are made to sit in here like this, or I've been thinking, so this is where my head is at with the problem, right? So if we put them in here flush like I want to, that kind of puts them at an angle, which is initially what I wanted, right? The idea behind putting these at like a slight angle on the bumper rather than directly behind me was that, you know, if I'm outside at night, if I have them kind of facing at an angle rather than straight on, it illuminates way more space, right? So if I'm out in the woods or something like that, I don't know, what would I need it for, you know? But the idea would be, if I'm out somewhere at night, having them at the angle would spread out more, right? So it'd be like a better FOV, field of view. So now now I'm like, what happens if I wanted to face them straight to where they kind of sit like that and go straight back, and this, like, I could use this against tailgaters, you know, but at the same time, who's gonna tailgate this big ass truck? Like, I would never. I can't even see anybody behind me, so it's not really for the tailgaters, I don't think. So I think the best way to do this would just be to do them flush, like so. So I've cut out 2 of them for both sides. Actually, I cut out an extra one because I wasn't paying attention and the machine cut a 5th one, whatever. I'm just an overachiever, we'll go with that. But the idea is I'm gonna basically take 2 of these, sandwich it between the bumper like so. The one on the back will have some tabs welded to it so I can kind of like, you know, flush mount it kind of deal. So that's That's where my head's at anyway. So regardless of which one I decide to go with, the way I need to do this is I need to line these up here, and then I'm gonna drill the holes through the bumper so I can send the bolts through it. And then it's that simple. So that's the next step. I gotta drill holes, I gotta line these up, and then we'll decide what angle we wanna set them at after that. So let's drill some holes. All right, there we go. The light bars are in. Obviously, I haven't put all the bolts in. I just have it kind of thrown in there so we can get a good idea of how it looks, because I still have to pull it all back apart and powder coat the things that I made. So that's a thing. And, you know, I said earlier about the angle thing, I was particular about I wasn't sure how I wanted to run the angle. Well, your boy Dan thought about that. And these are adjustable, they slide. So, if I want to make them facing the rear, I can. Just lock them in that way. And then they face the rear. Anti-tailgate device. Very happy with that ability, to be honest with you guys. Because I'm non-committal, you know? I like having options. I'm an options gal. But I'm happy with that. I think that looks really fucking cool, man. It's clean, it's simple, and yeah. Light bars. Okay. I doubt the camera will pick up any of the video at the moment, but I'm gonna show you guys the final interior of the dually. And then we'll end the video. Hop on in. It's cold. Doing this at like 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm an asshole. Oh man. Wow. That really lights up the inside of here at night. That's awesome. The lid effect that we talked about, how I wanted the lid to light up, you know, kind of from the stars. That worked out really well. And right now on my button parade, the only one that I have lit up is my, or wired up rather, is my reverse lights. Or not my reverse lights, but those LEDs, light bars that we talked about. They're very bright as well. But it's a toggle on switch, which is really nice. And then as you guys know, all this changes color with my phone, which I don't think I have on me. And then the remote, we can change the color of the headliner as well. Purple's really good, but I really like the white. It's very clean and classy. I'm just really stoked to have this basically done. I just got to get it registered now. There's a few small things. That's all electrical, like ABS, traction control, and TCM, transmission control module. Those are the last things that need to be addressed, and I'm having a shop basically take care of that for me. I've reached the end of my limit with is what I'm gonna do myself. I just can't do it. I just don't have the capability to do it right now. So I'm letting somebody else take over that for me. I am just could not be more happy with the way this truck has turned out. Bright. Those are bright. And these are bright. Jeez Louise. And this taillight still, the daytime running light does not light up. Everything else works, the blinkers work, the brake light works. Well, none of the reverse lights work either, so I need to figure that out. But yeah, very bright. But guys, that is gonna end this video. I'm stoked to basically call this truck done, especially after 4 years. Like I've been out and driving it, which is nice. It's nice to drive a vehicle that I haven't driven in probably close to 2 years. So that's fantastic. Also, one more thing, leave this bad boy up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, brother, I made that. I made this. I made all of this. I am so proud of myself. Oh my goodness. That is going to be the end of today's video. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.